Hello again, you wonderful, fabulous people out there, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all had a good Christmas and are, trudging on to the new year under the circumstances we all have to adjust to at the moment. But nevertheless, Happy New Year. Today, I'm going to talk about a subject around weddings. It's an etiquette video, and I'm biggie on etiquette, and I also, do consultations on etiquette. So if you tune in, and today I'm going to talk about wedding etiquette of the wedding guest. So if you're invited to a wedding, okay, these are some of the tips that you should follow so that you remain in correct etiquette for the bride and groom's big day. So without further ado, let's go straight into it. Okay, I'm going to be reading from my notes just to give me pointers. I've got 15 do's that you should do as a wedding guest at someone's wedding, and I've also got another 15 don'ts, things you really shouldn't do or try and avoid at someone's wedding so things go swimmingly, as they say. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about the do's, what you should do to make it a nice day for yourself and everyone else involved at the wedding. Remember that etiquette is about making other people feel comfortable around you and how you behave and what you exude. That's very important. So without further ado, let's go straight into to talk about the do's of a wedding guest. The first thing you need to do is RSVP. That's very important. If the couple obviously has sent you an invite, they would like you to attend their big day. So it is very important that you respond as soon as you can. This is important so that, the couple and the people that are involved with the catering have a good idea of how many people are attending so they can, plan accordingly, budget accordingly, and so forth. So that is very, very important. And while I'm on that, actually, it's also important that that wedding invite, if it is written out just to you, okay, it is important that only you turns up then at the wedding. But this is another point I was going to include in the 15, so I probably got ahead of myself a little there, but it ties in quite well with the RSVP. If the invite is specifically addressed to you or mentioning just you, then it is just you that the couple are expecting to see. Don't bring along a friend, a cousin, a boyfriend, partner, or whatever else. It is important that you follow exactly what the invite says. If it says, for example, so and so plus one, then that's fine. Then you can come along with someone else because it's an open invitation for you to bring someone else. But the important thing with RSVP, please reply as soon as possible because it does make things a little better for the couple and the people involved in the catering to plan, like I said, accordingly. The second thing, do buy the couple a gift. That goes without saying. A lot of couples these days will have a register somewhere in a departmental store, a particular store that they prefer to get gifts from. And they would have given you the details of the registry. So you go on there and try and get in as early as you can, so you can get the nicer presents that are on there. I'm not saying there's anything unpleasant, but sometimes you think, oh, I'm stuck with having to buy a toaster, etc. But the earlier you get in, then you can have a wider choice of things to choose from than if you leave it last minute, then you don't really have much of a variety of things to choose from. So it's important to do that. If the couple has not got a registry, you should then buy them something if you know them quite well, which I would think you do to be invited to their wedding. It's important that you get them something, maybe a voucher from a shop that they like, that that they like, so they can go and specifically pick out something that they would like. So that's another thing, because not all bridal couples will have a registry. So if they have one, by all means go and get something from that registry because it's something that they like and they are going to use. And if not, try and see what it is you think they may like and then get that for them. So that's point number 2. On to point number 3, which is very, very important. Be on time, please. There is nothing worse than having someone turn up late at the ceremony when everything is all quiet and they're waiting for the groom and then the bride to walk down the aisle, and there is you coming in all huffed and puffed because you're running late. And you just draw attention to yourself that you don't really want. It is rude and very bad etiquette. So try your best to make enough time for your journey. If you don't know where you're going to be going, put something in your sat nav or get a taxi or something. Just ensure that you've tried by all means to be on time. Something like 10 to 15 minutes is acceptable. That's good. It gives you some leeway there. But don't be overly early either. So you get there like an hour and a half before. What will happen with that is you might just be in the way of people that are trying to put the last minute touches to the venue, etc. Or you may be tempted to go and hunt the bride down and go and start talking to her. That's the last thing she wants, is a stream of people coming in when she's trying to get ready and you're there early and you want to go and have a chit chat with the bride. You can do that another time, not then. So just try and get in a little bit early, about 10 to 15 minutes, but certainly don't start coming in and steal the thunder from the bride and the groom, especially the bride, when she's walking down the aisle. And also remember, there's photographs being taken, maybe the video person's there as well, and you don't want to be seen there, shuffling in and trying to find your place, or trying to find a place to sit, etc. And you're overshadowing the grand moment when the bride and the groom walk in. So just be wary of your timekeeping. Right, number 4, please turn off your phones as well. That's very important that you would do that. Goes without saying, once again, you don't want your phone blasting off "We Are Family" by the Sister Sledge, or something like that, any sort of ringtone. You don't want that to go down in history that, just as I was trying to walk in, his phone started blasting off, I don't know, some song with some funny ringtone. So please just ensure that, you've got your phone switched off, or it's on silent or something that just won't be disruptive when the time comes for everyone to be silent and just focus on the happy couple that day. So, point number 5, try and eat before you go. Okay, this is not etiquette per se, but then it can lead to issues later on that can become a bit distasteful and not very good etiquette. So if you've got some sort of dietary requirement in particular, that's another point I'll just stress a little bit more. If you've got a dietary requirement and you have to sort of watch the kind of food you eat, it would be a good idea for you to have something, not overfilling, but something substantial to line your stomach before you go to the wedding. Because one, it'll, give you time to socialize, etc., before the meal. And if you have to eat something fairly quickly, you've at least eaten something before you turn up at the venue. So you don't turn up completely hungry and then you're sort of jittery and fidgety because you anticipate, oh, when's the food coming? So I'm absolutely starving. There's other things to the day that you can look forward to, but so try and eat something before you go. There could be other delays at the wedding, that these things happen, and so forth and so forth. So if you've had a little something to eat, I'm not saying have a full 3-course meal or something like that, then you won't be able to enjoy wining and dining with the others. But have something, substantial just before you go, and then that will see you through, even if there are delays with, with food service and so on. That's quite important too. Right, so number 6, do enjoy yourself. That's why, the wedding's there. That's why they've invited you. It is a time for celebration, a time for you to enjoy yourself. Obviously you stay within the limits, that you're not going to become a nuisance or, or become overbearing. Just understand your social boundaries and your social etiquetteness. But it is important that you enjoy yourself and you don't just sit there and look absolutely bored as if, someone forced you to come to the wedding or held a gun to your head that you must attend the wedding. So when you go to the wedding, ensure that, you socialize, you mingle with people, and you mix, and have a good time, because that's what the couple want you to do. That is what the couple are looking at on the day, that other people are enjoying themselves as much as they are enjoying their wedding day, and you are there to join them and facilitate that. So it's important that have a good time, enjoy yourself. Right, number 7, wedding favors. Now this is a biggie. Okay, the bride and the groom will have gone through lots of things trying to sort out the venue, trying to sort out the flowers, trying to sort out the dresses, the transport, and everything in between, and including the favors. Now, favors are a little momentum or gift that is given to people, to the wedding guests attending that wedding. It's for them to take home and, and as a sort of a momentum of the wedding. So it is very important that you take the wedding favor with you. There's nothing as bad and disheartening as, maybe the bride and groom seeing tables full of favors that were left, and they went through so much time. Other people actually make their own wedding favors, and that takes a lot of time, especially if it's quite a big wedding and it's all personalized and everything else. And other people buy them, and they pay a lot of money to get these wedding favors. So it's only courteous and good etiquette that you do take those favors home, as the bride and groom expect you to do. What you do with those favors when you get home is absolutely up to you. That's your business. That's okay, as long as you take them with you, even though you're not so keen on those sugared almonds or you're not keen on, I don't know, that jam preserve. Ooh, you don't want that. But you know what? Take it, because it's going to make the bride and the groom happy that you've taken something away that they would have wanted you to take. So take those wedding favors. Right, number 8, bouquet tossing. Right, okay. A lot of people are married. A lot of people are in relationships. A lot of people are single. A lot of people want to be single. A lot of people don't want to be single. A lot of people want to be married. You name it, okay? So, tradition has it that at most weddings, the bride will toss the bouquet at some point during the reception. It's usually done. So, the bridesmaids usually gather around, or sometimes it all differs. I've been to various weddings where they do things a little differently. Sometimes it's just the bridesmaids that gather to try and catch the bouquet. Sometimes all women are asked, especially, women that are single, you asked to come up and gather around and see who's going to get the bouquet. It'd be interesting, actually. I'll research into it to see where this tradition came from. If anyone knows, just comment on the comments section down below where the tradition came for tossing the bouquet. But I think it's quite enjoyable. However, when that time comes, do not be the aggressive one that is pushing their way forward and trying to jostle everybody around so you can get in there and catch it. Don't make it so obvious. When the bouquet is thrown, it's going to land in the direction that it is thrown. So none of this rugby scrum sort of thing or elbowing, and it's just not very ladylike either. So just try and keep it, decent. And if it lands on you, then yeah, well, tradition says what, you're going to be the next person to get married, I don't know, etc. So just be wary of your behavior when it comes to the tossing of the bouquet. Right, so we are number 9. Try not to interrupt the couple. Okay, in as much as everybody wants to speak to the couple, a lot of people maybe want a selfie with the couple if you must, things like that, I'd avoid. But so if you're wanting to speak to the couple, there's nothing wrong with that. But just if you get that chance to do so, just make your conversation short and sweet. Because remember, the day goes so quickly for the couple. So try not to overstay your welcome with talking too much to them. Just give other people a chance as well, because remember, if it's quite a big wedding, even a medium-sized wedding, a lot of people want to come up and say their congratulations to the couple and so on. So don't be too overbearing and take too much time talking to the couple. You can find another time to do that, maybe after the wedding, and you meet up on a different occasion and so on. But on that day, try to keep your conversation with the couple to a minimum to allow them to have some sort of peace, and enjoy the wedding, and also give a chance to other people to also come and say their congratulations. Right, so that number 10. When it comes to religious rituals, please respect those. Some people get married and they have to follow, or they would like to follow, sort of certain religious rituals that they follow because of their religion. Okay. If that is the case, you as the wedding guest, please respect that. Even if it goes against your own beliefs, even if you don't really believe in that sort of thing or that ritual or that religious thing that they have to do with the wedding, it is not your wedding, okay? You're a guest. It's like being in someone's house. You follow the house rules. That is what they choose to do, and that's important to them. So out of respect and good etiquette, follow along. It doesn't mean you're going to be converted to that religion or whatever it is. It's just you're showing respect for that couple, that is what they would like to do at the wedding. And don't start, having conversation with the next person as to how much you disagree with that religious ritual, etc. It's disgraceful, and it's not very, very falling in line with good etiquette. And so just avoid that. Follow along and play along with it, because that is what the couple would expect you to do. Okay, so the other point, number 11, this one is quite important. The no children's policy. Now, some couples will say right up front, when maybe they give you the invite, it may say on there, no children allowed. They have chosen to do that for their own personal reasons. Maybe they just don't want, a whole crowd of children turning up with their parents and running about the place, etc. Because this does happen. It can happen at weddings and so on, It doesn't mean that the couple don't specifically like children, or maybe they don't. That's not for us to debate and ask questions around. We just need to respect their wishes. So if they say that no children allowed, please don't bring your little children or your big children along to the wedding when it specifically says no children allowed. If you then bring your children anyway and defy that, one, it's disrespectful, and also secondly, it may send the wrong message to other people at the wedding who have got children but respected the policy, didn't bring their children, and then it makes it look like, you know, you have preferential treatment, and it just makes it very awkward as well for the bride and groom. So if they do state that, you know, don't bring any children, let's respect that and leave our kiddies at home. Right, number 12, the dessert table. Now, with a lot of weddings that I have attended, you know, you've got the lovely wedding cake over here, and then you've got the dessert table as well, and so on. So obviously, if it's, for example, if it's a buffet style wedding, because it depends, okay, I'm just talking here about, let's say, for example, the buffet style wedding, and there's the savory food or the main course, etc., has been served on the buffet. And then later on, people can wander along to the dessert table where the cake is normally situated as well for that. Please be aware that, you know, only approach the dessert table when you have been signaled to do so, either by the catering staff or the wedding coordinator, if there's a wedding coordinator. The reason for this is if you start to beeline for that dessert table and start picking things, you know, and so on, there's nothing as horrible as having, because that is a photograph moment there with the wedding cake and everything else around it. There's nothing, I think, for me as you know, horrible as having photographs taken around the wedding cake and there's empty plates because someone has, or some people have decided to fly in there and head for the dessert table before they were signaled to do so. It just leaves empty plates and half sort of taken things, if you like, and so on. So try and stay away from the dessert table until someone says you can do so, either the catering staff, or it may be the wedding coordinator. This is because the couple may want to have pictures taken of the dessert table while they are cutting the cake. So just play it by ear with that one. Right, so we are on to number 13. Right, try and stay for the duration of the wedding. Okay, now you may have an invite to come for both the ceremony and the reception, so do try as best you can to stay for the duration of the wedding. If you have to leave early, it's quite important that maybe days before the wedding or something like that, you let the groom and the bride know that you may have to leave early because of something that you cannot rearrange, or something, or maybe it could be work or something, or you're on call, I don't know, whatever the case is. It's important to do that. Leaving extremely early is just going to paint a really negative picture for other people and also for the bride and groom. It may signal that, you know, you're not enjoying yourself and you're bored and you want to go home. So, you know, make the most of it, because obviously the bride and the groom have taken a lot of time and effort and money and things like that, you know, to make the stay special, not just for them, but for everyone. So try the best you can to stay until, you know, the duration of the wedding, where possible. Right, number 14. Oh, this is a biggie. Right. The seating arrangements, okay? If the wedding that you have been invited to, there is a specific seating arrangement for the guests, as you walk in maybe to the reception hall or the reception room, whatever it is, there it is at the front, table arrangements, and you're sitting on table, how can I think, leopard rock, or you're sitting on the table Paris, whatever it is, okay? Go and sit there, okay? Don't start looking and saying, oh my God, why have they put me with so-and-so? You know, I can't stand her. Or why have they put me with so-and-so? Oh, I can't. Oh, I don't want to sit with them. Oh, I want to sit with these guys because they're fine. You can't do that, okay? The bride and the groom are asking you to sit with the people they've assigned you to, okay? It's taken a long time for them to probably juggle around and see who sits with who, etc. It's not important. It's a wedding. Have fun. Respect the couple. You know, don't start nitpicking at things that are not really important. It's only for a day. So sit next to whoever you're assigned to do, and do not please start to rearrange everything and go, oh, can you swap with me? Can you come and sit over here because I want to sit at this table? Or you're just going to plonk yourself in a place that has not been assigned to you. It's going to look very awkward for the bride and groom as well if they sort of look over there and say, oh, what's going on over there? Why is there a hustle and bustle going on over there? You know, what's going on? So just sit where you've been assigned to sit, yeah, and just have a good time. So that's on to number 15, the last one, okay? Allow the bride and the groom, if it's a buffet style of wedding, do allow the bride and the groom and the bride's and groom's relatives, relations, to get to the buffet first. Don't sort of charge there ahead of everyone, especially ahead of the bride and the groom. Allow that there's going to be plenty of food for everybody, I'm sure. So just allow the bridal party and the relations to go forward to the buffet before you start to charge on. So that's important. Also, it's that don't, I mean, there's nothing wrong with going for seconds, thirds, etc., but just use your judgment that everyone else has gone for the first round before you start going on to pile your plate with food. That's another thing. Piling your plate with food is not attractive, okay? It's just not very good etiquette. It's okay to have a little bit of food on your plate and you go back and get more. There's nothing wrong with that than having a whole mountain of food in your plate. But yeah, just let the bridegroom and the relations, etc., get to the buffet before you. So that's number 15, which totals up the top 15 sort of wedding guest etiquette points I wanted to share with you. I've got a bonus one as well. I've got a bonus one for both. If you could not say goodbye to the couple before you leave, it is important that try and find another time, maybe after they come back from their honeymoon, if they're going away on their honeymoon straight away. Try and find some time to either drop an email, but best is a phone call. Give them a phone call and say, your wedding was absolutely fabulous. It was really lovely. We enjoyed ourselves. I just couldn't get round to say goodbye because a lot of people, or you seem really busy talking to other people, etc. That's quite courteous, and it does show that, you haven't forgotten that, to say goodbye. It was important for you to have said goodbye on the day, but you couldn't do so for certain reasons. But you have made the effort of picking up the phone and phoning up the bride and groom to say thank you for a lovely day. Okay, so these are the do's of etiquette, wedding guest etiquette. Now, of course, during the times that we're living right now, you're not going to be going to really great big weddings, but I am a positive person. I'm positive, and I'm going to get you all prepared, okay, for this, because we're going to come out of this pandemic and the wedding season's going to open up again, and you're going to be going to all these fabulous weddings. So it's important to bear in mind some of these tips that I'm going to share with you. So now moving on to the don'ts, things that you should try and avoid doing as a wedding guest at someone's wedding. Now, the first one, I think I probably mentioned this as well when I said the don'ts, but you can flip it over. If the invite is meant for you, it is for you only. So no plus ones. If you feel you want to bring someone else, okay, call up the bride and the groom and ask if that's okay. Okay. In some circumstances, they'll say, oh, no, that's absolutely fine, no problem. But, if they're on a strict budget or seating arrangements and things like this, just avoid bringing someone else. Just go, if it is just you on the invite, go on your own. But it is good courtesy as well to ask the bride and groom if you can bring an extra person than just turning up with another person. It makes it very awkward for someone to say, oh, well, you can't come in because you brought someone else. So try and not attempt that route. Number 2. Enormous gifts, right? Please try and avoid bringing a gigantic gift to the couple on their wedding day, unless they are having their wedding at their home, okay? They may have a big, great house, big, great yard or something, or garden, and having this fabulous wedding at home. That's fine. But a lot of the times people get married away from home, like in a hotel or in some other venue. So do not bring an enormous gift to the wedding. The reason for that is, and I'm not saying don't buy enormous gifts, but don't bring a really bulky gift to the wedding, because it just gives more work for the people who are responsible for ferrying all the gifts across to where they should go after the wedding. They may have to hire particular transport to put your heavy or big gift on. So if you want to do that, I would say probably have the gift delivered to the couple's home. Okay, maybe a day before the wedding or something like that. Then at least they're at home, they can enjoy the present at home without having to think of, oh, how are we going to move this great big gift? It's meant in a nice way, obviously, because you bought them something really nice, I'm sure. But try and avoid bringing something overly gigantic to the wedding for those reasons. Right, number 3. Now, this is a pet peeve of mine. Now, okay, some of you may argue and say, well, what's wrong with wearing that? The day is not yours, okay? The day is for the bride and it's for the groom. We are guests coming in to enjoy the day with the bride and groom. The point I'm trying to make here is, please do not wear white, especially with the ladies. Okay, it's unlikely, well, it can happen that a gentleman can turn up in a white suit. I don't know why they do that, but anyway, ladies, especially, this is out to you. Please avoid wearing white at someone's wedding. Okay, I firmly believe, maybe it's an unwritten rule somewhere, but I've always had this belief that, don't wear white to someone's wedding. White is supposed to be a color for the bride so that she stands out, etc. It's that special dress, that special color. So try not to wear white. There's so many other colors you can wear, etc. And you can wear white at other occasions, but try and avoid wearing white at the particular wedding, because you're going to be jostling for, attention, so to speak, because you're in white, she's in white. What if another person comes in white? Everything's white. Unless it's a wedding where they've said it's an all-white wedding, everybody wear white. Some people do that, that's fine. But, normal kind of traditional weddings, etc., try and avoid white, okay? Find other colors that you can wear. There's so many other colors you can wear in the day. And the other thing as well, on that note, is try and avoid wearing something extremely extravagant. You walk in there and you're like, all attention is like, and the bride's over there. And everyone is cranking their necks because you've walked in there looking like, I don't know. Can't even think of an analogy to compare that with, I don't know, a peacock with its feathers all out. You don't really want that, ladies. So, tone it down. I mean, you're going to a celebration. That is absolutely fine to be smart and glamorous, but just be, wary that, tone it down a notch and not go, and I mean extremely extravagant. There's nothing wrong with you looking fabulous. I love to look fabulous, I love it. But just make sure that, you're not extreme, that everyone is sort of, or wearing something that is really, you feel uncomfortable in it yourself, or it's too tight or something, I don't know. Or it's very revealing, something like that. Just be mindful of that too. Right, so number 4, try not to get in the way of the photographer if you can, please, because the photographer is trying their best to take the best shots of the couple on the day. So you're not helping by trying to photobomb or trying to get in on there and take a selfie or some photographs on your camera, etc. So if the photographer is trying to jostle his way through, give the photographer room, because he or she is trying to catch good shots of the couple. Right? Okay. Number 5 on don'ts that you should not do as a wedding guest. Don't get drunk. Don't get excessively drunk. Okay, it's fine to be merry and tittle, nothing wrong with that. It's meant to be, if there's alcohol being served, you're having a good time. But just be aware that, don't get, totally drunk and become an absolute national embarrassment at someone's wedding. Okay, I'm sure some of you have attended weddings where somebody has had a little too much, or they can't handle their drink, or they can't handle their liquor, and they're all over the place, and it becomes embarrassing. You become a nuisance, and you don't want the bride remembering and the groom their day because so and so got so paralytic and completely wellied out of their skull, and they couldn't put 2 words together, and people didn't know where to look. So how much alcohol you can withstand. So stick to your limits. It's only you who knows your limits. When you've had enough, stop, drink some water or something, or drink some water in between. But certainly don't get embarrassingly drunk that, it goes down in history for the wrong reasons. Okay, so number 6. Okay, I think I mentioned this as well before on, giving the couple space, but do not over talk to the couple. Okay, give them some time to talk to other people, give them some time to take it all in, because, it does, time does fly on the day. So just be aware of that too. Number 7 of the don'ts, don't stress the couple out. So for example, something's gone wrong at the wedding, okay, or you've seen that something's gone wrong, and you rush to the couple to tell them that, oh my goodness, such and such has happened. They have got enough stress when it came to planning the wedding, because planning a wedding can be stressful for some people. Some people, they sail through it, but there's a lot of detail going on, and on the day they just want to chill out and relax. Okay, so if there is something maybe that's gone wrong or something, you'd rather go to the wedding coordinator and tell them, if there is a wedding coordinator or one of the catering staff or one of the staff at the venue, for example, or maybe one of the relations or other friends that you may want to go and tell something like that. But try not overburden the couple on their happy day with issues. Okay, it's not important. Right. Number 8, taking advantage of the open bar. Okay. At some weddings, the couple generously allow for an open bar, and people can go backwards and forwards all night and have a drink, alcoholic drinks, non-alcoholic drinks, etc. That is their generosity to say thank you for attending and this is on us. Please don't take advantage of that and start hoarding drinks. Okay? Like there's going to be some sort of curfew at a certain time. That is just distasteful and it's not good etiquette. It's also important not to start ordering very expensive drinks just for the sake of it, or ordering bottles of something. Or I'll have a bottle of champagne, I'll have a bottle of Moet, or I'll have a Clicquot or something. No, that's not very tasteful. And it just, it doesn't look very good when other people are looking at you doing that. And, so just try and avoid that. Sorry, I've gotten something in my eye. Probably a hair. Right, so number 9. Stick to your menu that you have ordered. At some weddings, they will send you a pre-order and say, can you order your food before the wedding? This is so that the caterers know how much to cater for, who's going to be having what, etc. Okay, so none of the wedding food will be cooked as per order. It's quite rare. So if you've been given a pre-order to select from, please stick to what you've ordered. So if you've ordered the beef Wellington, for example, or the chicken chasseur, when it comes round, don't start saying, oh, actually, can I switch and have the beef? Oh, can I switch and have the chicken? Oh, actually, can I have the vegetarian? You're going to have to bear with it and order and stick to what you ordered. Okay. In exceptional circumstance, it could be that you've ordered a certain dish and then you realize that there's a certain ingredient in that dish that you're allergic to or something like that. That's understandable. Okay. But you can't be sort of chopping and changing halfway through to say, oh, actually, I'm going to change my menu. It does disrupt and cause a lot of disruptions for the catering staff. Okay, so try and avoid doing that and just stick to what you pre-ordered. Right, okay. Number 10. You're going to start complaining. Please don't complain about the quality of the food, okay? Someone's wedding, there is a lot more for you to celebrate at the wedding than just focusing on the food and having a nitpicking tirade because of the food was like this, or the food was like that. It doesn't matter. It's not your place. Just enjoy what they've done. The couple have gone through great lengths to try and, facilitate everything that goes well on the day. The last thing people want to hear is you or the other person over there complaining about the food. Okay, it's just the one meal at the wedding. You're not going to be there for eternity. Just, appreciate what they've done and don't moan about the food. Right, number 11. Start wallowing about the fruitfulness or fruitfulness of your romantic life. So, for example, you don't have anyone in your life, a partner, boyfriend, etc., and you're getting a bit gloomy and emotional at the wedding, etc., and you start talking to whoever will listen about, oh, I don't have anyone in my life, and I've never had really good relationships, I can't seem to find a man, oh, I can't seem to find a girl, whatever the case is, okay? That's not the venue or platform for you to be doing that. You can do that with your girlfriends or your boyfriends or whatever friends at another time. But at someone's wedding, it's a happy occasion. No one really wants to be lumbered with that person I had to sit next to. And they could not stop talking about how they were always in bad relationships. That's not the time to talk about that. So talk about other lighter, cheerful things. Okay. Number 12, looking disinterested. You were invited to the wedding because you're the couple's friend and they'd like you to be there, or you're someone that the couple knows and would appreciate your presence at their wedding. You have accepted to go to the wedding, you've RSVP and you've said, yes, I can attend. So when you do attend, you're going to a special occasion, a happy occasion, so make an effort to look interested, okay? Even if you feel that you're bored, look interested. You've committed yourself to going to the wedding. So don't be a wet blanket, and just look all gloomy, etc. Lighten up, cheer up, and enjoy the, what is being offered at the wedding, and socialize and speak to other people. So don't look disinterested. It's not a good look, and it's not very good etiquette. Number 13, sitting in the front row, unless you are a relation, a close relation of the couple, and you have been assigned that you sit in the front row. If you're just another guest who's not a relation, anything like that, please avoid the front rows. A lot of the times, the front row, and I'm talking about the ceremony more here than I think reception, the front row is usually preserved or reserved for the next of kin, the closer people to the couple. So try and sit elsewhere and avoid sitting at the front row, because you don't want being asked, can you please go to find another seat because this is for the parents or the cousins, whatever it is. So just be aware of that too. And number 14, social media. Social media is a good thing, and it can also be a bad thing if it's not applied and used correctly. And weddings are no exception. So if you're at a wedding, fine. If the couple is okay with you taking pictures, that's fine. But if the couple has specifically said no photographs, please respect what they've asked you to do and don't take photographs. Worse still, you take photographs and then you start posting them on Instagram, on Facebook, etc. The couple may not want you to do that. You've burst their bubble. You've rained on their parade. You may not want to do that because maybe they want to formally put something out on social media when they've got the chance to. So keep those lovely photographs and then share them only after the couple have, put things up on social media. You don't want to be the first one racing to put pictures on there, etc. It's not very good. Very good etiquette. So just keep them back. If you're allowed to take photographs on your phone, by all means do so, but don't start posting them all over social media without consent from the couple. Right, and number 15, the last one on the don'ts when it comes to wedding guest etiquette is, please do not give distasteful toasts at someone's wedding. Okay. Yes, I know that we're all not perfect, and on our wedding day, we want it to be perfect, okay? And we rely on other people around us too at the wedding to, to remain polite and courteous. So if you have to give a toast, for example, make it nice and short and pleasant. And if you're a sort of a funny kind of person, you can bring in some banter or some sort of joke into it, which is tasteful, then that's fine. But refrain from distasteful toasts which start talking about the bride's exes or the groom's exes, or things that they did in the past that are not very pleasant and other people don't really need to know about, and you start to talk about that, and especially if you are the maid of honor or the best man. Normally the best man gives a speech, and you start saying things that are not appropriate. Okay, so just keep it tasteful. It could be that one of the guests are asked, you're a guest at the wedding, and you're asked to say a few words, etc. Let it be that, a few nice pleasantries and nothing that is distasteful. Because always remember, there are people taking photographs, and there could be a video person videoing all this. So you don't want that going on, a couple's video that, oh my goodness, what was she thinking? Oh my God, what was he up to? So just keep all the toasts tasteful. That's all right. So that sums up all the don'ts that I put together with you, 15 don'ts that I put together for you for wedding guest etiquette. And like I said, I've got a bonus one as well. The bonus one for don'ts as a wedding guest, which is good etiquette. Don't leave the wedding reception before the couple cuts the cake. The cake cutting is quite a pivotal moment, as is the first dance and so on. Try and stay, if you can. Obviously, if you've got other commitments, you may need to excuse yourself and go. But try and stay to at least when they cut the cake and have the first dance. Okay, so that sums it up, ladies and gents. I hope you've enjoyed my take or my tips on the 15 things that you should do as a wedding guest, and 15 things that you really shouldn't do as a wedding guest, all in the name of a wedding guest etiquette. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below, and you can get more content. I will be focusing a lot this year on etiquette because it is an area that I like very much. It is an area that I always I specialize in that sort of area, and I love it. So a lot of my content this year is going to be on etiquette as well as other lifestyle things, but mostly etiquette. So if this is the kind of thing that you like, We talk about business etiquette, social etiquette, dining etiquette, etiquette for children, and stuff like that. So do tune in and make sure that you subscribe and click the notification button as well, and then we can meet up again for another session on etiquette. I say Happy New Year. I'm going to have a little bit of a drink and celebrate the new year, and I hope you all have a good new year, and hopefully we'll come out well on the other end after this epidemic has left us hopefully sometime soon. Okay, take care. Bye bye.